Hi, and welcome to On the Spot. My name is Ronnie Wiley. To my left is one of my favorite people. It's Cindy Perez. Cindy, welcome to On the Spot.
Thank you, Ronnie.
And I tell you, honestly, I've been wanting to get you on the show for a while because you're a lady of many talents, not just a real estate agent here in this area, but you are a very artsy, creative, theatrical person.
Well, thanks.
Even though you've never cast me in any show.
We
have worked together, though.
We have.
Yeah, worked together, and you are a fabulous talent. I've been pleasure to work with you when I have. Right now, you're the president of the Imagine Performing Arts, which is the theater group here in Fayette County. Before we get to that, let's talk about your history in theater.
All right. Well, I grew up here in Connersville. Worked with the John Connor Players when they were here in town, and Trey Upsilon out at the high school, and the speech team, which I think was a huge help in my career. Went to Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth and studied theater and religion there, and then interned at the Dallas Theater Center. After a year there, I went to New York, got my master's in theater design from New York University Tisch School of the Arts. And then from there worked in New York and with touring operas and musicals that went out of the city.
So you were, did you go there by yourself, or did you have any friends that you went with? So you were in the Big Apple all by yourself, this little girl from Connor. How old were you?
Oh, well, I had graduated with my bachelor's already.
Okay, so you already graduated.
Right, I was 24, 25.
Okay, so you're still relatively young to be in the Apple by yourself. Was it everything you expected it to be when you were working on these big operas and basically on Broadway?
It's almost like politics. In politics, everything is local.
Right.
Well, when you're doing a show, everything is local, and you just focus on what you're doing and making the best performance, the best theater show that you can do. And that's how it works, whether it's going to a big opera house somewhere or if it's in a little black box somewhere.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I guess you're right, because, baseball has different dimensions for each field. Every stage is a little bit different.
Right.
So you have to really bring out the creative juices whenever you're at it from a big, like you said, a big black box or an opera. Is there one that you prefer, or is it just, an opera, big opera house or a black box? Is there one that you specifically prefer, or you just like doing it all?
No, they're all unique and different, and they all bring out different aspects of what you can do. And it a lot of times has to do with who you're collaborating with.
Right.
If I'm designing, collaborating with the directors and the other designers. If I'm directing, collaborating with the actors and the designers. It's everyone has to put in their piece in order to create something wonderful.
And you have been a director before, and so you got to get your idea out there. And as someone who works under a director, you have to make their vision come alive.
Right.
Which one do you prefer to do on that?
As I've gotten older, I really prefer the directing.
Oh, do you?
I like being the creative director behind it all and having a point of view and making those choices, trying to make the strong choice to bring the point of view alive for the audience.
I never thought that I would like directing. I wanted to always direct. You gave me my break as an assistant, and then when I got to direct, I tell you, to me, the hardest was the lighting.
Yeah.
I think coming up with the lighting, the right gels, the right atmosphere, that takes a long time to do. It takes that special eye. What got you involved in lighting? What was that part of theater that you thought, I want to get involved in that?
Well, it's very sculptural. Lighting is very sculptural. And you think about it like watercolor. So you have a background, and then you have midground, and then you have the foreground. You have to decide where the attention goes. I think actually it was physics class in high school where we studied the spectrum of light and that type of thing, and what different instruments, what kind of lights they produce. And then I went to a small university where I was able to basically put my own program together. And it's I know, because it's not tactile. Lighting is difficult for a lot of people to understand, and it's always been a really nice little niche for me to slip into and express
Right.
myself.
Well, I tell you, you were my first person I wanted to call, but I remember you had other obligations during my show, and I remember thinking, what would Cindy do? And so I had another guy do the lighting, and he did everything I wanted, but gosh, that was just that is a special skill for that.
It is.
And you had that. When you're working in New York, which obviously that's the upper echelon of theater. You bring some of those same skills when you come to Richmond and here in Connersville, correct?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's all the same skill
A
set.
stage is a stage.
You just make it fit where you are.
Yeah, where you are, and that's it. Tell me some of the shows that you worked on in New York.
Well, I did traveling, touring. With,
that had to be fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And we were doing a lot of, it was a Rodgers and Hammerstein anniversary
Oh, okay.
year or a couple of years. And so we did a lot of Rodgers and Hammerstein throughout the whole United States.
So you're traveling at you talk about different theaters, so
Yes.
you had to really change the lighting for different theaters. It's not
Yes.
like you can set the tags up on, and it's, you got to change it all. That really keeps your creative juices flowing, correct?
Well, the theater sent the specs, and then I did the light plot for each theater and sent it ahead of us so that most of the time they were union theaters.
Oh, okay.
So they could, have everything up in the air and ready for me to focus when I got there.
Wow, that is so neat. So what brought you back to Connersville?
My husband.
Your husband. Angel's a great guy. I love that guy.
Angel is a wonderful man, and
one of my favorite people.
brought him out here to meet my parents and see where I grew up, and
He's like, I want to stay.
he loved it. He wanted to stay, so we did.
That's unbelievable. So your
Yeah.
husband that you met in New York
Yes.
decided, wow, love that guy. So you're here. Obviously, you still got that creative juices flowing. How long was it before you got back involved in theater? Because was the John Connors Players still involved when you came back?
No, they had already closed their doors at that point, so there was nothing here. I did some operas for the Sorg Opera, the Whitewater Valley Opera Company, just little bits and pieces until I really kind of got my toe in the water at Richmond Civic Theater.
Right. That's where we met.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful theater. They
Yes.
have a great fly system there.
Yes,
Lots of lights, lots of
Yeah.
instruments to work with.
Yeah.
They have a nice lighting board.
Right.
They have a shop where you can build your scenery. When I
Right.
design sets, that's a wonderful thing to have.
Right.
You have a good board. You have a nice pool of talent to pull from. So getting involved up there was really has been a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, when did you start there?
99, I think.
See, that was here I was too. My first show was Camping with Henry and Tom,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very surprised at how many Connersville people were there.
Yes.
And now we got a new wave of talent from Connersville people.
Yes.
And again, driving up to Richmond every week is,
a
and every
hassle.
night when you have rehearsals, if you're doing a musical, it's, every night for 3 months, it becomes a hassle.
Yeah.
We had a theater here. Tell me about Tell me about the beginnings and what was the driving point of, hey, we got to do something here in this town.
Well, like you said, I was up in Richmond, and I'm doing these nice shows, and I'm finding lots and lots of Connersville talent
Right.
in front of the audience and backstage.
Right.
And I said, why are we not doing live theater in Connersville? The audience was filled with people from Fayette County.
Absolutely.
So, we talked to some of the people who had been part of John Connor Players and to see if its charter was still open, et cetera. And really, it was closed down, and many of the people were gone.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of had boiled up, and there were a lot of people who wanted to do something. We all got together, sat down, worked out a plan. And a few months later, Imagine Performing Arts came into being.
That's amazing. It's awesome, and I am I'm in love with the concept that you guys do, the type of shows that you do. It's not your traditional, let's see, shows that we've already seen 1,000. That you guys are really, pushing the envelope and pushing that creative boundaries. Is that something? I mean, the mission statement, I'm sure it came from that. What exactly is the mission statement?
Oh, that's a good question. I would have to go get it and read it.
Yeah.
But it's about perseverance of the millennial spirit.
Right.
That theater is alive.
Yeah.
And we want to promote not just theater as people think of people on stage, but the performing arts, people in whatever kind of performance.
Right.
We wanted to promote playwriting. We wanted to promote singing and dancing. We want to have a community orchestra. We want to have a community dance group. We really want to be a positive influence in our community.
Yeah, and I love that, and the fact that there's so many people, and you hit the nail on your head. When I was involved with RCT, I was very surprised at how many people from Connersville I knew that were in the audience.
Right.
And they have to be hungry for having the theater here. And from seeing the show that you did the back in July, that was on CTV3 or here on TV3, oh my goodness, the audience was alive.
I'll tell you the story of the first one. So we had gotten together, we'd formed our bylaws and such for Imagine Performing Arts, and they said, let's do a show, let's write a show.
Right.
And so Ian Kinder and Daniel Phelps got together and wrote the first Barclay Bigelow's Hullabaloo review.
Right.
The Presbyterian Church was nice enough to let us use their fellowship hall, and we tried to sell tickets, and we sold like 10 tickets. We're like, okay, well, we'll do our show, and we'll have 10 people, and it'll be fine.
Right.
And we set up, I think, 70 chairs, just in case.
Right.
And I spent the night putting up more chairs. We had one night. The performance was amazing, and we just kept setting out chairs and setting out chairs. We finally had maybe 120 people by the time we ended that night.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
That's awesome.
And we knew Connersville was hungry. Connersville wanted performing arts.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people from Connersville that is involved. Besides Ian and Daniel, who are great actors, I've worked with both of them. We all worked together on Death Trap with Linda Ward. Of course, Linda Ward is now she's on film. I worked with her on 7 Deadly Words. Just great talented people. Got the Suman triplets.
Yes.
Those guys are very talented. Wayne Greason, and his son. We have so much talent here in town, and also you do more than just on stage. There's other things that you guys do, like what's coming up at Brian's Bookstore
On August the 19th, we will have open mic night. We do that quarterly. It's Brian's Bistro.
Oh, Brian's Bistro.
Brian's
okay.
Bistro.
Yeah, sorry.
6 o'clock on a Saturday evening. So the next one is August 19th, and then after that, it's November, I think, 11th.
Oh, wow.
Whatever that Saturday is, right there. And it goes from 6 to around 8, sometimes later if we have a lot of performers. And people just bring in wonderful, wonderful things to perform. Sometimes it's prose or poetry. Sometimes it's guitar. Sometimes it's singing. And we had a couple of girls do an a cappella duet I think the last time or the time before. And they were just wonderful.
Now, that's something you plan on doing quarterly? Is there something that could possibly be more?
Oh, yeah, we do it quarterly. We've done it quarterly since 2014.
That's amazing.
And we not only need performers, we need audience.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We ask for a $5 donation when folks come in, and that just helps defray our costs.
Right.
And Brian has coffees and desserts and things available.
Big supporter of the arts.
Yes.
Yeah, big supporter of theirs. So, again, something that has always intrigued me about, and that the bigger theater groups really either haven't done or can't do, is that you do playwright stuff. You do stuff that's just non-traditional theater. Was that something that you guys we have to do this?
Absolutely. Where else are you going to be able to write your own interactive murder mystery?
Right.
Partner with the library.
Right.
Have people dress up and have constituents come in and try to solve the mystery. I mean, you can't do that in a big city. You have to. You need the right ground, the fertile ground to do that.
Who are some of the people that are involved in the theater? You mentioned Daniel, you mentioned Ian. Who are some of the other actors that have acted here for you guys?
Well, Gilda Lewis.
Oh, Gilda, of course. Yeah, I love her.
Ron and Belinda Foreman.
Yeah.
Carl Beard. You're putting me on the spot.
Oh, sorry to be.
Oh, that's what the show's called.
Right, yeah, there
Spot.
it is. Right, yes. That's the first time that has ever happened. I put somebody literally on the spot. Now I know Rusty got involved last time.
Right.
Rusty Ammerman.
He's been at every hullabaloo. He's our headliner at the end of the show.
Oh, well, he's fabulous. I mean, that guy is just unbelievable talented. And again, we got unbelievably talented people here in this community.
Right.
If somebody wants to get involved with Imagine Performing Arts, how do they get involved?
Well, we have a website, www.imagineperformingarts.com. How hard is that?
ImaginePerformingArts.com.
There's a contact us place on there. We have a P.O. Box, P.O. Box 540, Connersville, Indiana. They can come to a show and talk to us, come to the open mic and talk to us. We're available.
And you guys post, obviously the audition notices there on the website.
The website and Facebook.
And Facebook, okay, on the Facebook page as well. Now, again, there's, theater has seasons.
Yes.
Typically, what is your guys' season? How many shows you do, and when does it run?
We usually do 3 shows. And actually, we're unique in that at our general meeting, which is August the 19th, 1 o'clock, at the Whitewater Valley Arts Association building on 28th Street. So
right, okay, yeah.
At our general meeting, we'll vote on the 2018 season.
Okay.
And so we're not sure what we're doing over the winter.
Right.
There's several ideas that have been thrown out. I'm kind of rooting for The Dining Room by A.R. Gurney.
Oh, now that's a great show.
I love that show.
I want to say Linda directed that at RCT. Fabulous show. You did lighting for that, didn't you? If I remember.
I don't think I was around at that point.
I don't remember when The Dining Room was. I thought it was close to when we got there. But no, I've heard nothing but good shows for that. That would be a great show.
So,
wow.
but there's a whole list. So we will vote on that, and we'll have the Hullabaloo, which is our second show, and then I think next fall we're going to do an interactive, like Fractured Fairy Tales type thing with children.
Yeah.
So anyway, that'll all be ironed out at the general meeting.
You talked about the children. Obviously, any group needs the feeder system. Is there plans in that, or is it just, hey, let's get them involved now?
Well, we did. We've been working with the park with the Discovery Kids program.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
We've done summer theater programs there 3 years. This year was really exciting. The young kids got to work with puppeteers. We hired professional storytellers and puppeteers to come in and work with them, and then they made up their own puppets and stories. And we set up a little stage area with microphones, and they went and told their stories with their puppets. They were so excited. They were so excited that after they get finished with the one that they'd prepared all week, they were raising their hand. Oh, I have a new story. I have a new story. They wanted to do more because, and that was fun. And then we took the older kids. We were doing middle school and high school, and did Readers Theater for about 10 days.
Yeah, so you guys have this. That's awesome, and you get the camp, get the kids involved, and you see their excitement. And I've been. I've seen some of the kids' stuff up there at RCT, and it's amazing. And I've worked with kids who have graduated from that program, and how versed they are in theater and pretty much their self-confidence. I think kids get more self-confidence when they're able to speak in front of people. People think because I can talk in front of a camera that I'm this outgoing person. Really, I'm shy. And a lot of us are. But give us a stage to entertain. We like to do that, and that's something very important that get lost. You said you work with middle school, and do you work actually with the school system?
No, not right now. I mean, maybe in the future. And I know that Grandview has a little drama club, and I know the middle school has the skit squad. Yeah. And Daniel Phelps and Lynette Eklund are the drama coaches out at the high school.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Lynette was talking about that. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we definitely got to, if you are a parent, I'm telling you, this would get involved with theater. It's amazing. I think more money needs to go into the arts because, again, it teaches skills, because kids text anymore.
Right, right. And not every kid, not every adult is skilled at chasing a ball.
Right.
Football, baseball, basketball. Sometimes, and I know we all love those sports.
Right,
but,
Let me grab this for you.
Thank you.
We're on the spot.
But sometimes they have other gifts.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And the theater lets them express themselves in other ways.
And fabulous ways. And I was one of those guys. My first show I ever did was at the Dayton Playhouse, Scrooge, which was, I couldn't sing. I wanted to play Tiny Tim. Who knew you had to sing? But I could cry, so I played Scrooge as a little boy and also the urchins, and they told me to lip sync because I was drowning everybody out. I was so bad at singing. I think you may have heard me sing, Cindy. I'm not
I
very good
have,
at all.
and we're really grateful you didn't sing in Scrooge.
I'm glad. I'm glad, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, so I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance, but there's other things you can do in theater. I know how to cry. Backstage stuff is fun too.
Oh, we
I
need
flew for Millie.
painters. We need people
Yeah.
to create props.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
so fun to create
Yeah.
something that looks like something
Looks
else
real.
that'll work on,
Yeah.
dress the sets,
Yes.
of course, do the lights.
Right, exactly. And
Costumes.
I love it when people come up on stage and they go, "Oh, I thought that was a real knife, and it's a styrofoam,"
Right.
because you're creating something. Again, I flew for Millie whenever you directed Millie, which I believe
Right.
was your first musical that you
It was
directed.
the first one in
And
Indiana.
Indiana. And so that was fun because I had never flown fly before. Worked with Kevin Arnett.
You should tell them what flying means.
Oh, flying is I bring the curtain down or bring the set pieces down. That's right. Not people may not know that. Yeah, it's just you pull the cord and you bring stuff in and out of the set. You fly pieces in. Great. Love that. So there's lots of things to get involved. There was a guy, Chris Bennett, that designed my set for Three Musketeers. That's all he likes to do is design sets.
Yeah.
You tell him what to do, he builds it. And Imagine Performing Arts needs people like that.
We do. We
You know,
do.
if you don't want to be in front, on stage, there's plenty of work backstage. For every actor there's 2 or 3 people back there making that actor look good. And you need all that. And I love that. And I love what you guys are doing. What else you guys got coming up? And tell me a little bit about the future, because obviously you're still on the ground floor, but you're moving.
We're moving
forward.
up. Our next show is Crimes of the Heart.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is. It is. It was a Pulitzer Prize winner back in 1981. Gothic humor. I don't know if you know what that means. It's Southern. It's a little dark.
Oh, that's going to be good. Oh,
Very funny.
yeah, okay, yeah.
It's very funny, and if I tell you the plot of the story, you're going to be, that's funny. But yeah, 3 sisters who were raised by their grandparents after their father left and their mother committed suicide. Yeah, sounds funny so far, right?
Wow. Yeah, I'm cracking up.
And one of them has shot her husband, and they all come back together to rally around that sister, and all of their Hazelhurst, Mississippi dysfunctionality. They entertain all night long, but they plow through that. The message that family is so important, and that we all love each other with all of our scrapes and bruises. And
Oh, we have a lot of them. At least I know
Yeah.
I do. And that's again, that's theater that you introduce and you educate your audience to, as well as to not just what theater is, what hey, this is a different type of humor. Now, what made you when you guys?
wait a minute, I want to give you the date.
Oh, that's right. You need a date.
October 6th through the 8th, and it's at 7 o'clock on Friday and Saturday, 2 o'clock on Sunday.
That's when the curtain drops.
That's when the curtain goes up.
It goes or drops.
Yeah, it's at the Roberts Building. We go in and we build the stage in front of the Roberts stage. The Roberts stage is a little small.
Right. Yeah.
So we go in and we build a stage, and we call T&J Productions out of Liberty. They bring us some lighting equipment.
That's awesome.
We were blessed to be able to buy some sound equipment this year through grants from the United Way and the foundation, and we put on a show.
Are you guys looking for sponsors? Are you guys looking
We're
for
always
advertisers?
looking for sponsors, always looking for members. If you want to be a member of IPA, it's only $25 a year,
That's fabulous.
and that helps support us.
Yeah, $25 a year, and you get a ticket to each show.
No, $25 a year gets you a vote for
get
the
you a vote.
season.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome. I've never been part of a theater that lets that happen. So you become a voice in what we get to see. So $25,
Right.
that's awesome.
Right, and once you're a member, then we know more about you,
Right.
and maybe you want to help lead playwrights, or you want to be a part of, some other group or class or seminar, or ask us to bring something.
Right.
And, it gives you more of a voice.
Now, when you guys, again, the Roberts Building is where you guys do the shows,
Right.
and you've done stuff with the library. Do you plan on, because you've traveled,
I have.
Do you guys plan on taking the shows out? Maybe not necessarily, well, maybe outside of Fayette County. You guys plan on traveling?
We did one Hullabaloo down in Metamora.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, they were great folks to deal with down there. They were really nice to work with. But, we would really like to have our own home.
Right.
We'd like to find a space in Fayette County where we could set up a stage permanently, set up lights permanently, and have a place to store our costumes and our sets and things.
Right. My mind's starting to think.
Good.
Because J.C. Penney's out now. That's a nice space there. The Kmart building's been out for a while. That's huge. I mean, that's really huge.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a wish list of where you would like to be, or is that something down the road that obviously you're thinking about?
We're always looking.
Yeah.
We're always we've looked at several buildings actually, and it's all about.
So members, sponsors, anybody that has any, because again, and I can't stress this enough, what's very important about theater is that it gives our kids something to do. Again, the adults are going to be there, but the kids are the future of any theater, and we always talk about, well, there's really nothing to do in Connersville. This is fun. This is a place that the kids can be creative, and they can find out talents that they never thought that they had. Who knew that so-and-so knew how to sing, or so-and-so knew how to dance, or so-and-so knew how to build stuff?
Right.
You can get involved with the kids at the builders at the high school, get on out there and build a set and learn. You can learn trades with theater. There's so much more than just standing up there and pretending that you're somebody else that you're not. There's so much more involved. So when you guys sit down for the meeting that you guys have for the
big general meeting?
The big general meeting, yeah. Is that where you guys vote on officers?
Yes.
And who are all your officers now?
Okay, I'm the president. Vice President, Vice President's Ron Foreman. Secretary is B. Foreman. Treasurer is Sharon McQueen, who is part of everything in town. We love having her as a part of our group. And then Angel Perez is the communications director.
Love that guy.
And then directors at large are Linda Ward, Amber Phelps, and Gilda Lewis.
Fabulous people.
Yeah.
Fabulous, not just fabulous
I should get a star for that.
Yeah, because you were, remember I put you on the spot twice and you remembered. And again, I've worked with Linda a few times. Wonderful, talented lady, can sing incredibly. I wish I can.
She's awesome.
She's
really awesome.
And Gilda, oh my gosh. Gilda's just, she could do anything. So we got some talented people. We need more. Again, we talked about how to get a hold of you, and we'll repeat that here in a moment. But again, if somebody's out there has never or maybe thought about theater, what advice would you give them other than just show up?
I think that's the best advice.
Yeah.
Just show up, leave all your inhibitions behind, and just go for it. And you don't have to be on stage. There are twice as many people backstage painting and moving scenery and creating things as are on the stage performing, because not everybody is meant to be on the stage.
No, not at all. And here's the thing too, and I never take it personal if I don't get a part, because I never had it to lose. So I never, and there's always so much more involved to casting a show than whether or not that person can read well during an audition. So come on out, audition. If you don't get the part, there's always other parts, and it gives you. I've casted somebody in Three Musketeers that their audition wasn't the best, but I've seen them act before, and I knew what they could do, and I thought, well, if they bring that to the table, they'll do well. So just come on out and just meet Cindy, meet Linda, meet Ian, meet everyone, and get involved with Imagine Performing Arts, because I tell you, Connersville is very blessed to have this theater, and I'm very blessed to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you.
And I look forward, Cindy Perez, to be working with you with this theater and hopefully in the future other places as well.
Great, thank you,
Anything
Ryan.
you want to add real quick? We got 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Oh my God.
Putting her on the spot.
Yeah, I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
No, come be a part of Imagine Performing Arts.
And how can we get a hold of you on your Facebook page?
Facebook, Imagine Performing Arts, www.imagineperformingarts.com.
There you go. Cindy Perez, God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Great
you.
to have you on the show. We'll see you next month on The Spot.